I will turn 30 next year. And that hits me really hard. Because as a kid, I pictured this age differently. I pictured a house, a family, kids, maybe even a dog, but most importantly, I pictured someone who would have life figured out by now. Sadly, none of that came true. And the only real thing I have to show for 3 decades of my life is this old van right here and less than 4,000 euros to my name. So it's easy to feel like the world lied to me. Because I was told that if I put my head down, put in the work, and keep waiting in the line, my turn would come. But that line isn't moving. And it's only getting longer. So 6 months ago, I realized that I've had enough of waiting in line. I saved up every penny I could. I bought this van, and I quit my job. But right now, 6 months later, the van looks worse than when I bought it. And I couldn't understand why. I've just gone all in on the one big dream I've had, but I still couldn't make any progress. And that's when I got diagnosed with ADHD. Things started to make sense. The noise in my head, the failed starts, the way I could make a perfect step-by-step plan, yet still get stuck on step 1. But ADHD wasn't the only thing holding me back. You see, everything around you is designed to keep you where you are, to keep you watching, scrolling, not moving. Nobody's trying to make something real anymore. Everyone's just doing whatever it takes to keep you watching for 10 more seconds. And I'm tired of that. I want this to be different. So I won't show you the perfect build. I'll show you a real one. Because we do enough pretending in life as is. Posting a happy photo on Instagram when 5 minutes ago you were arguing, or buying something you know you can't afford just to look like you're doing well online. Even as men, we're told from a young age to hide the cracks. Like, pretending that the foundation isn't crumbling will stop the house from falling down. I'm done with pretending. I want to document something that's real. And if you're stuck like I was, waiting for the right time, let me tell you, the right time doesn't come. The right time is just this excuse we've made for when we are too scared to start. But that excuse turns just one more day into one more year, and before you know it, you're no longer building a life that you want. You're just stuck keeping up with the one you didn't choose. So let's start by making some memories. Memories that are worth remembering. Because at the end of the road, the only thing you can take with you are memories. And let's go back in time when 6 months ago I started this build. I was more optimistic. And I thought everything would be done by now. But honestly, I am grateful for that optimism, because if I wasn't brave enough to start this, I would have never had the chance to finish it. So first we got to remove the chairs.
Now that the chairs are out of the way, we can start removing the plastic trimming. It doesn't look like it's going to be fun. I mean, there's a lot of plastic clips and self-tapping screws, so this is going to take a while. It is getting quite hot working in a closed van. Now, as nice as these curtains are, we can't fit it into our van build. Just I might meet the aesthetics, so we'll take those out later. Trying to remove this panel right now. It's a bit tricky because there's screws under it and we can't get to them until we remove the whole panel. And it seems to be kind of almost glued in, I think. So this is going to be fun. Getting a bit dark in here. Let's see what we can do something about that. Battery slightly too dead to have the lights on. And I don't think I have a solution, sadly. Well, hopefully the camera will make it up. If not, I'll edit it a bit more in post-processing. Well, there we go. Only took a couple of breaks. And a couple of thunks. Carpet has to come out, so I might as well start doing that. At least it feels like carpet. A lot of destruction. Doesn't feel right. Destroying things other people have built. Okay, so we've discovered water down there. I think it's this thing that's guilty for it. I'm gonna try to take it off and see. So, I save you all the enjoyment of watching me getting hurt, trying to unclip everything here, but I've done it. And I'm thinking I need to remove 2 bolts and this whole thing should come down. So it should be a great view. But let's see if that actually works. It is heavy. It is also heavy. God, I did not expect that. Wait, what? It is somehow attached to the wall. Oh, it's clipped in. Let's see. Now, oh, I wish I could get some help, but I don't have anyone to help me. Boy, oh boy. I love having no friends. Oh, I should have cleaned up a bit so I have... Well, that's one way of getting it down. I guess that works. Right, it's down. Space. Wow. Amazing. Went exactly as I planned it. It was all just a dramatic effect for the video. So I've set up the other side. This one should go a bit more gracefully, hopefully. We'll see. So this one's already unclipped from the wall. So as soon as I unscrew it, it's gonna fall. It's not clipped in like the other one was. Just wonderful. Let's start with this one since it's loose. There we go. Now, let's brace this one up a bit. Okay, the bracing's working. How am I supposed to put down my impact? Oh, there we go. Okay. Will it come off gracefully? What? Ah, something's up with the cables there. I didn't do a good job. Oh no, it's not the cable, it's the pipe. Okay, so there's a pipe that's connected to the bottom of the radiator, so it would take away all the condensation. And I forgot to remove that pipe. I knew it was there. Okay, it wasn't graceful, but I mean, definitely was better than the previous one. So the previous owner seemed to like the rivets. He liked them so much he put them in every panel. So there will be a lot of drilling before I can remove them all. So I'll get started with that. Everything is just so dirty here. Like, well, right now you can't see it as well, but my hands get so dirty so quickly. That did it. I almost drilled through the wall of the van. That would have been a sight. See daylight through that hole. What else is holding you in, big boy? Let's see. Ow. Okay. That looks better. Hello? What is that? Oh, there's a cheeky little screw. Couldn't see it was so rusted and so much in there. That's okay. One more curtain rail down. Let's go. Sadly, I have to remove the bulkhead covers. I'll have to remove them anyways at some point to insulate it, but I have to remove it to get rid of the old carpet ceiling. So we're going to do that now. Right up there. There we go, that's the bulkhead. Carpet, lining, call it what you want. It's going to be some work. Hopefully that's it, right? This just pulls out. Hey, that was not as hard as I thought. Okay, gotta drill out a couple more rounded bolts, which is always fun. I think that's drilled enough that I can just break it off now. Okay. It's loose all the way until here. Can I just, like a glove. This rail's very heavy. See why they use so many screws to hold it in. Okay, so it's gotten a bit too messy. Also, I'm tired from drilling all the rivets and the bolts and the rusted screws, so I'll take a break, clean this place up a bit. Okay, whew, that's a little bit better. Back to the not fun bit, where I have to drill, hurt myself, drill some more, and hurt myself more. Fun. I'll stop doing that. I'll do something more fun, like, I don't know, undoing screws again. Seems to be more fun. Let's pop clips and undo screws. How? All of the screws are covered. All of them. I mean, it looks good. This thing previously has been done quite professionally because it looks really nice, but the thing they missed out on is actually making it, like, I don't know, insulated. So, you know, there's not a lot of condensation just dripping. Like, if you have this place full of people, because it's a people carrier, right? At least it was originally. So This is full of people. They're breathing hot, humid air. Like, that's gonna cause some issues. Believe it or not. It's gonna cause a lot of issues in terms of moisture. So, yeah. It's done to look good. I'll give it that. It looked good. Besides the like moldy ceilings and stuff, it looked nice. This thing even has a hammer for breaking windows. That's how serious this thing is. Proper safety equipment. Not that we'll need it, because we're safe enough, right? There is a trick I've learnt. It's that, let's say this thing doesn't fit somewhere, right? It's big, it's bulky. What you can do is, you can grab a wrench, put it on top of, never mind, my wrench is too big. So I could not find a crowbar, but I found this hammer with the nail pulling attachment thingy majig, and so we'll try that. Try to pull out some things with that. Okay, that seems a bit loose. There we go. Look at that, beautiful. No need to undo the rivets. Now, if I keep pulling, that metal bar is going to swing at me, so let's do this one first. Okay. Oh, the thing I said about the metal bar swinging at me. It swung. Damn. Oh, my knee. So I have to get that radiator out. apparently this radiator is powered by the engine's coolant system. So in theory, while we're driving, this should warm up. In reality, it doesn't work. But if I can get it working, I have a nice idea of how to heat water in the van for free. So we'll see if that works out. Okay, it is impossible to walk on the floor again, so it's another round of cleanup, I guess. Let's grab some plastics and put them somewhere. Okay, that is done. A little bit cleaner for now, for like the next 10 minutes. But back to breaking things. So I have come to the conclusion that I have to remove this. No matter how much I don't want to, it's just going to be in the way. So I got to get down and dirty, unscrewing the exhaust and the intake port. Let's have my trusty flashlight from my Impact guide the way. It is, what key did I put on? Is that a 6? It is not a 6mm. What? I could have sworn it is. Okay, never mind. Let's get a different X. Oh, the intake is broken. Nice. I feel that the sheathing on the intake is completely broken. Oh, it's out. There's that. Just cost me an intake. But it's out. Yeah. Damn. Okay. There's 2 holes. This can go to the side, right? Oh, I flashlighted you guys a bit. I can just unscrew this. Last damn screw. And that's gonna make all the difference. Come out. This panel has been annoying me for so long. Now it's gone. Yeah, that is a sweet feeling. So it's looking a bit cleaner, a bit emptier. Still not fully empty. Got to remove this and the ceiling. I can't wait to remove the ceiling because I have no clue what's under there, but it is wet. It is so wet, I can't describe it. For now, I need to go get a bigger drill bit. Okay, let's go get a bigger drill bit and a fresh battery. Or maybe not even a fresh battery. Yeah. So it's getting late, so I just want to get some work done without recording, and I was taking off the ceiling panels, as you can see. Some big ceiling panels, very big ceiling panels. And I was about to take off my last ceiling panel, and I open it, and there's a little river there, a little river of mystery liquid. And if you look carefully, there's a rag at the end of the mystery liquid there. So someone knew about a leak, but instead of fixing it, they put a rag up there. That is a logic I'll never understand, honestly. I'm sure that fixing it wouldn't have been that much harder than taking it apart and then just putting a rag in there. But yeah, let's take it off and let's see what's actually hiding here. So, just muscle this a bit and bear with me while there's sticky lighting situations. Also, didn't mention, but the whole floor is wet. That's my rag. I put it there to absorb some of the moisture, but yeah, the whole floor is wet because of that, which is great fun. Okay. So there's our damp problem. I was wondering why it's wet up here. And oh. These are like baby diapers. These are torn apart baby diapers. Wait, the lens is a bit foggy, one sec. Oh, that didn't fix it, okay. I apologize for the fog because the lens is wet, but if you look carefully, these are little baby diapers with baby frogs on it. That's great. Someone's torn up baby diapers as a form of water absorption. I mean, I don't know what to say. And there's a fly there. Look at that. He's having a great time. Yeah. I don't see a obvious leak point, but I do see condensation. If you look at the ceiling, it is littered with droplets of condensation. So that's obviously the issue. So there is no easy fix for it. I understand why he just put baby diapers and called it a day. I'm gonna have to fix that, and it's probably not gonna be easy. Time will tell. So yeah, just last check-in. I'll head off for the night after taking this off and getting rid of the diapers. Okay. After some. Oh. Okay, guys. I have to be honest with you. It's been a while. Last video I recorded was almost 5 months ago now, and between having winter and it being really cold in here and me not wanting to work, and my ADHD doesn't really need an excuse to not work, so the first excuse I get, I use. So I didn't do any work over the past 5 months. Yeah, it's been hard. The deadline I set myself for the 1st of March, that's almost a month gone now, and there's nothing done realistically. The only thing I did is a few days ago, I went out and took the pipes out that were connecting the conditioning unit at the top of the van. I also took some plastics out, so some plastic panels. Took the seats out, I'll show you. So currently there's nothing in the van. It is pretty bare bones. There are no plastics, no seats, nothing. And yeah, I just wanted to come clean and talk about what's happening and what's happened so far. For you guys, it's been no time because I'll probably edit this in one video. So the last bit you saw was in November. I was working on the van. It was cold, but it was okay. Now it's almost April. It is the 27th of March. I wanted to have this ready by March, but realistically, yeah, I overestimated how quick I can get it done. Currently, the plan is to get it done before summer, really. Hopefully before middle of May. I don't know. I keep setting myself deadlines, and maybe that's the stress of the deadline stopping me from working. I don't know. It's just hard. It's been hard. I don't know. ADHD. I got diagnosed with ADHD. I got meds for it, so maybe that will help. I'll get things done quicker. Hopefully. Today the plan is to get all of this plastic, dirt, trim, old screws, everything out so I can think clearly about what needs to be done realistically. Get the chairs out, get the trim, all the little bits and bobs, get everything out of here, find somewhere to place it that's not gonna grow mold. So when I finish this build, I can wrap it up and put all the things back in. Yeah, I guess there's nothing more to say. Just wanted to explain what's happening, what's going on. And I'll get started with moving the things out. I'll find a nice spot to get a good angle. Up here in the bulkhead seems good. Maybe a little bit closer. That seems like a good angle to see everything going on, right? Hopefully it won't jiggle too much. Don't give anyone motion sickness. I'll do a little time lapse, as always, as I'm moving this stuff out. And yeah, thank you for sticking by. These are the pipes I had to remove. These are the conditioner pipes, air conditioner pipes, yeah. So they were weaved in to the frame, and getting them out wasn't fun. But I only took a day and I didn't film that day. Didn't really feel like it. But that's pretty much all I did the whole day. Removing these pipes and removing some plastic trim and the seats. A little bit of cleaning, but still doing more cleaning today. Okay, that's it. Fix up the light a bit. This is it. Whew. Turning up a bit. This is the van. Actually, let me show you around. There's still a bit of mess, but it's mainly tools and bolts and stuff. So, oh, okay. Let's actually get this off the tripod. Let me show you around. So, this is it. This is the van. Frame? Okay, maybe I'll refilm this. It's a bit iffy. But let me show you around the van. Turn around. Still getting used to the camera. There we go. So, this is it. Remove the bulkhead. So there's a bit of room there. Removed all these pipes. So the pipes are running along here. Inside these holes, the pipes are all along there. They came up to here, and then they moved all the way down to this little piggy hole here, and then they came up to here, and then they went into the front of the van, into the radiators. We don't need that anymore, so what we have left here is these two pipes are supposedly inlet and outlet for the engine coolant. Right now, they are connected to this simple radiator that's supposed to heat the passengers. We will not have passengers, so what I'm thinking is I will use these inlet outlet pipes and I will connect them to a heat exchanger so I can use the engine's hot water, hot coolant, to heat hot water for myself and have a nice hot shower for free, because heating water is really, really expensive when it comes to electricity. It uses a lot of electricity. So not having to rely on solar to heat that, or gas, because including gas in a van is difficult. As I was saying, including gas in a van is very difficult. You have to have a safety exit for the gas. Oh, there we go. Facial tracking, perfect. As I was saying, you have to have a safety exit for the gas. You have to have a hole in the bottom of your van, so if the gas leaks, it can escape down and out the van, because gas, butane, propane is heavier than air, so it will leave the van instead of building up to a point where it can become explosive. Really don't want that. So I've chosen not to go with any sort of gas, propane, butane, anything. This van will be run by solar panels on the roof. Hopefully I can fit 400 watt solar panels, so I'll have a 1.2 kilowatt system, hopefully. I've already bought some batteries, so I have 8 kilowatt hours of batteries, and I'll have a 24 watt system, so I can save a bit of money on the wire gauges, but not make it too difficult, because I can still have fans, lights, many things run on 24 volts. It's the system for lorries, trucks, 18-wheelers, so there's a lot of common accessories that still work on 24 volts. So hopefully that will make it simpler and a bit cheaper for me. The water will be heated by driving, which, if you're in a van, you're always driving somewhere, so every other day you'll still have hot water. And water retains its heat pretty well, so if I have a nice insulated water tank, it should last a few days. I will not be using gas, so cooking will be induction. I'll have an induction stove. And I have this really cool thing I've bought. It's a Instant Pot, kind of Instant Pot thing. It's a cheap knockoff of Instant Pot, because I can't afford Instant Pot. So I will be using this pressure cooker, electric pressure cooker, to cook my meals. And there's two benefits to that. One is pressure cooking cooks faster, so you'll be saving on electricity. So let's say you want to do a pulled pork. Instead of taking 4 or 5 hours in like a simmering pot, you can make it in 1 hour of the Instant Pot. And the other benefit is, because it keeps the pressure in the pot, you're not releasing steam into the van, which is really bad, because as you can see up here, if I can aim the camera up, come on. It's still tracking my face. I'm still learning this stuff, so forgive me 1 second. Okay, if you look up here, rust, very bad rust. This is a support frame built by the company to include the safety exit, emergency exit. So it's not an issue because I will not be using that. Hopefully I'll be filling this in with like a skylight. I'll see. Maybe there's a solar panel on the top, so there will be no point of the skylight. I have to still plan that. I have not planned out the van. I'm building this as I go. So yeah, Instant Pot will stop steam from releasing, which means we keep the water vapors down in the van, which is really, really, really important because rust is a silent killer that stays behind walls. You don't see it. Once you build out the van, you don't see the rust, you don't feel it. It just rusts your van away. And then all of a sudden you have leaks, you have MOT inspection fails, lots of issues come from having rust. So Instant Pot, 2-in-1, saves electricity, cooks faster, which is a benefit I didn't include, and stops the steam from releasing while you're cooking. The idea is you cook it and the steam builds up, you pressure cook it, then maybe open a door, open a window, release the steam outside. Don't release the steam inside the van. So it's another nice benefit. You still have to have ventilation to release the water vapors because living, just existing, creates water vapor. You breathing, me talking right now is creating water vapor. It's one of the issues I had while working on the van at the start of the video is it was cold. It was November. Right now it's April almost. So it's nice and warm. But I was getting condensation building up right here, everywhere. So it was wet. The whole van was wet. So every day I would finish working and the van would be just dripping water. Maybe you can still see the water stains somewhere. If I can disable the active track and show you. Right here, you can see some water stains right here. These gray dots is where the water collected and it took a little bit of dust off the roof. So it left little bits of little droplets. So yeah, very important. Not having water vapor in your van. We are doing this smart and cheap. I don't know. Maybe it's a good thing, maybe it's not, I don't know. But yeah, Instant Pot, induction stove, that gets the cooking going. Fridge, probably because RV fridges are really expensive. I'll be running my fridge off an inverter. I'll be running a home fridge because they're cheap. I can get them secondhand really cheap. It just is what it is. It takes a little bit more electricity than a RV fridge, but it's cheaper. And you know, hopefully with the power bank and the solar panels, I do not run out of electricity. If I do, I'll think of something. Maybe I'll switch to like an ice box, like a RV ice box. They're cheaper than fridges. Water heating, yep. I'll have that done with the radiators. So far, that's the plan. We can talk about insulation. So what I'm planning is I'm going to put polystyrene, closed cell polystyrene, extruded polystyrene all over the van, and I will be sealing it. I will be sticking it to the roof with styrofoam. Not styrofoam, sorry, expanding foam. And it's not very good. I know expanding foam is not very healthy, but the reason I'm thinking of doing that is because closed cell polystyrene doesn't let water vapor through. So if I put a bead of expanding foam around the polystyrene sheet, it should in theory create a local vapor barrier. And if I can do as many of those as possible wherever I can, I create many vapor barriers, local vapor barriers, stopping the water vapor from touching the cold roof, the cold shell of the van, and condensing water, which will eventually lead to rust and issues. So hopefully, in doing it that way, I will make it easier, because doing a vapor barrier is really difficult. Vapor barriers are hard. You have to make sure there's no air leaks, and like it is really hard to not have an air leak in a vapor barrier when you have cables running through. You have things like, actually I'll show you right here. This is a big open void, right? And if you wanted to vapor barrier it, so let's say you put a sheet of plastic around here, so you know the wet air from inside doesn't touch the outside cold shell. Well, the issue is right here. Maybe you can see a little bit of light coming through. Yeah, you can see there's light coming through. That's because this is connected to the outside light. So water will come from the outside within your vapor barrier, because your vapor barrier is covering everything here. And the water vapor from the outside will come and still touch your van. Yes, it is colder air, so it's not going to have as much moisture in it. But once it comes in and warms up a little bit, it still touches your van's wall and creates water vapor, which is not good. So the whole point of just sticking polystyrene sheets with foam around the edges is it creates local vapor barriers that are easier to manage and easier to make airtight, like a vapor barrier should be. I can't vapor barrier everything, because here, right, eventually, I mean, this is, unless I fill it with foam, which I really don't want to do because I think that's silly, and in the future it's going to kick me in the back. So I can't fill this with foam because there's important cables. Like if I ever have to change a light, I can't access this, so filling this with foam is impractical. Also, there's a van breather port right here. This is where the van breathes. It's almost like a one-way port. So when you shut the door, so it doesn't create too much pressure, these open. Maybe we can see. These little ports open up. It's very dark, but these little ports, you can see a little bit of light coming through. These ports open up and they let the air out. So when you shut the door, you don't get an increase of pressure, so you don't pop your ears every time you close the door. So all these little things, in my opinion, make a vapor barrier just impractical. You can't do a full vapor barrier really well. Unless you cover everything with foam and stuff like that. It gets really expensive. Foam's not cheap if you want to cover the whole thing. The other thing is, if you're thinking, why don't I just cover everything with foam, right? Why don't I do the whole ceiling with foam, right? Just, if I'm doing toxic foam, you know, as some people say, why don't you just cover the whole ceiling? The issue is, it's expensive. Polystyrene sheets are cheaper. So doing a bunch of polystyrene sheets and just covering the connections and the edges with foam is going to be cheaper than running the whole thing with foam. It's a long video, a long rant. Hopefully someone watches this far. We'll see. But yeah, it's ADHD, man. It's telling me to talk instead of actually work. So I'll get back to working. I'll attach you guys to the tripod, and yeah, another time lapse probably. So see you then. Okay, now everything's a bit more cleaned up. So zoomed in. Everything's a bit cleaned up, so we can maybe try to remove the pipes from the radiator. See if they have any coolant in them, because the radiator did not work when I previously tried to use it. So we'll see if it works at all. Maybe it doesn't. Okay, so here's the radiator in all its glory. And here are two connections. One of these connections is wet, which is scary, I'm not gonna lie. Is it a leak? Who knows? Also, I don't want to open this up and have coolant leaking everywhere, because one, coolant is toxic. Two, I still need the van to run so I can go to the stores and stuff and pick up my hardware. So let's try to slowly undo one of these. and wiggle it loose to see what happens. I don't think there will be any coolant because, like I said, it doesn't work. Maybe it didn't work because it's blocked and like clogged and stuff. But yeah, let's see. It's hard. It is so hard. It is rusted. Maybe it's been leaking before, so it's been turned off at the front. I have no clue. I actually don't know where the pipes lead to in the front. So maybe let's get a better angle. I have no clue where the pipes go to in the front, so maybe they're not even connected, which is my main theory. Never know that. Okay, this is loose. It should now just wiggle free. No? Okay. Everything's harder than it seems usually here with the van. Nothing's easy. I've learned that the hard way. Okay. Moment of truth. It's just on that tight. So just give it a little squeeze open. If this tool worked, that would also be great. There we go. Why not? There we go. That definitely has coolant. That coolant is going everywhere. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. Is coolant corrosive? I don't know. Is this a good sign or a bad sign? 50-50. Okay, we stopped the leak. Now we gotta clean up quickly. So it works, yay! Good. It's good that it works. It's bad that it leaks everywhere. Let's do this tight so it would stop the leak. It is dripping now, which is still not great. Oh no. Well, I wanted to know. Now I know. It's got liquid in it. Yay. Okay, we've learned some things. Learned that there's a different issue with the coolant stuff that we have to tackle. We'll tackle it another time. Now, most important thing is getting all these beautiful walls covered with polystyrene, expanded polystyrene foam. So probably have to wash them. They're a bit dirty, if you can see. This probably would show you better, right? How dirty they are. So they have to be washed before anything will stick to them, because otherwise the foam or anything will just stick to the dirt and it'll fall off. I need an airtight seal, like I said before. Lots of small vapor barriers. So I guess I'm gonna be cleaning the van for the rest of the video. There's nothing else I can do for now. Take some measurements, maybe later on today do some 3D modeling of the van to have the right dimensions. Design some interiors. I've designed an interior already, but it's not a finalized design. Yeah, like I said, it's not a final design because I don't know the actual dimensions. I just used generic dimensions from the van's interior, but realistically, I'll lose some space due to the polystyrene insulation. So I will be remeasuring that with the estimates and then see how much space I actually have. Adjust the design, hopefully get the van done before summer. So we can go somewhere fun, nice, and cheap. Because we don't have much money left, so we'll have to be cheap. Anyways, I'll get ready and then I'll start cleaning the van. So I saw something else that I can do before cleaning, because cleaning doesn't seem as fun as diagnosing things. And I've noticed a bunch of wires here and here. I mean, these were all connected to the air conditioning stuff, right? The interior air conditioning. But what I noticed that there is one big harness carrying all these wires, and that leads to this big relay box, I guess you could call it. A bunch of relays, a bunch of, let me check what they are actually. Oh, come on, these are so rusty. Maybe that's why it didn't work. Okay, these look like relays. These look like high power relays. So they take a low power signal and they pass through a high power current. So this is 20 amps. I can see the breakers here. So you could signal to this thing with a small wire and bring only one big wire here. So the relay can switch all those big power hungry circuits somewhere. And it looks like this relay box is not original. This looks like it came with an air conditioning unit. So I'm looking to remove all these wires because I'm trying to get rid of everything that is not necessary. Just for the fact that I can't put much insulation here if I have this big box here. So if I can remove everything that I don't need, I can put more insulation in. It's just going to keep the van warmer and cooler and better. So yeah, maybe another time lapse of me messing about and trying to remove these cables. Make sure everything's in frame so you can see all the way up here and here, maybe a little bit higher. There we go. Can you still see this? Yes. And then this box, this used to be this, I'll show you. This used to be a switch that would turn on and off air conditioning for the back here. So this is just a switch and piping. I'll also need to remove that. It's all riveted, so I'll have to get a drill. Then I'll drill out some rivets and I'll try to remove all these wires. Should be fun because it will save so much space for me. This wire going up top will also have to be removed then. Yes, one step closer to having an original van, clean van. You know, most people who buy vans should start out with a clean, nice build. This whole video since November is just me removing the things that other people have put in. Which kind of makes me a little bit sad because, you know, someone worked hard to do this. But none of the systems were working. The conditioning wasn't working. The seats were not safe anymore because they didn't have 3-point seat belt. They had a 2-point seat belt, which is not legal anymore in Europe. So, yeah, it was good stuff. It was nice stuff, but no longer serves the purpose. So we are gonna take everything out and then hopefully have a clean start so I can actually start building the van, not just tearing it apart. This is gonna probably be one of the longer bits, tearing it apart, hopefully. Building shouldn't be that hard, I hope. We'll see. Anyways, I'll get a drill and then I'll start drilling. Yeah, see you in a bit. Okay, we got the drill. Should be able to see everything, right? See up here, somewhat. Up here. Maybe bring you a little bit higher. Hope. There we go. Can see this. See this, can see this. Perfect. So let's get these cables out. I like cabling stuff. I like making sense of all the cables people have brought in. What they all do. I don't know, it's just fun for me. I mean, this is all purpose-made stuff. It's really nice. It's not like the things I'm used to. I'm used to a bit more jank. So this is done professionally. Yeah, I don't think it's done by the car company itself, because some of these connections do look jank, but it's done professionally, quite professionally. Made by a company in 2007 from what I can tell. The date is 2007 on it. So the van's a 2008 model. So this was made... I assume the van was bought by this company. They convert it, a brand new van, and then they sell it. Because how else could it be a 2008 model? I don't think it was done by Citroën themselves. The things you find out doing these things, you know? Very cool. It's a very thick conductor there, which I'd like to keep. Actually, it's not that thick. No. In order to have charging from the car's alternator, let's say an emergency case, you could have the car's alternator charge your 24-volt battery. With the right configuration, of course. This cabling just isn't thick enough. You need a thicker cable to do any sort of meaningful charging, so I won't be using this cable. Let's try to save some time with time lapse. There's a lot of colorful wires going up there. We need to cut those. This is a one-way road. I don't like doing. I don't like cutting things, but we don't have another option, so we'll do that. Okay, we have found the right tool for cutting wires. Check it out. These are my old grandfather's shears. You like keeping old things. It's nice. They're pretty dead though, so I'm not really ruining them by cutting copper wire. So, but yeah. There we go. I can officially say Grandad helped me build this now. Thank you. This reminds me of removing the pipes. This is pretty much, I didn't film it. I apologize. I should have. I wanted to film everything I do in the van, but it just wasn't the right day. I didn't feel like it, but this is what you are missing out on. Me stuffing my hands into these crevices and a lot of swearing. That's all there was to it. Pretty much. And a lot of scrapes and cuts and yeah, you didn't miss much. Now I could cut these wires and just yank them out, but I'm scared that they might be something needed. So I'm not going to do that. I'll take a little bit of pain over cutting something that I have to splice later together. I can put it back together if I need to. I mean, this I definitely don't need, so I could cut it. But yeah. Okay, off to this side. Fun part. Hey! Sounds like moving noises. God, I can't get the right angle, no matter what I do. Now let me show you why. Oh, the conductor is not that bad, actually, now that I think about it. But the reason I didn't want to use this for my car charging is, I mean, my leisure battery charging from the car's alternator is because this, you see this conductor, it's quite small. I'd like it a bit thicker because it would be carrying a lot of amps, and for like 60 amps I think would be good. 600 watt charging, yeah. I could charge the battery in 12 hours, but still, this just wouldn't cut it. So that's why I'm pulling it out. Look at all these beautiful relays. Someone spent all that time wiring them. I'm just cutting them out. Just doesn't feel right. But look how nice it comes out now. I'll set up a nice little shot. It is so much easier to remove now. Oh, come on. one hand, slides out, except some connectors that got stuck. Okay, let's switch to this interesting part of the van. Oh, hit your head, sorry guys. I apologize. The van's got a low roof. Right down here. This, how could I show you better? This is the interesting part, right? Because this is where all the cable connections are, right? Look how thick these harnesses are, right? Look at all these connections. So this is the thick cable that was going in. Got that. Something's under there that I want to see because I can't tell right now what exactly happens to that harness. That big harness that comes down here doesn't seem to end here, so I will take this off and look where that harness is. Oh, I see where that, no, that's the factory harness, I think. Right? Yeah, because the conditioning harness has a blue line on it, which I think is a really cool detail. It's a cooling thing, has a blue line on it. I'm sure the factory did that on purpose. Again, this is purpose made. This used to have like, let me show you the other side. Wait, get my gloves off. I'll turn you around. I'll show you this side again for reference. So this side, come on, there we go. There's a little panel in there, right? Nice little panel. Come on, camera, where are you looking? Nice little panel, screwed in. Don't mind the wetness. I have no clue where that's coming from. Ah, it's the panel. Panel had water in it because it's sloped in a wrong way, but nice little panel made for it. Originally, what's supposed to be there is it's like a little air containment thing. Doesn't let air come through because there is a sealing ring all around this, and it's clipped in. So yeah, whoever made this, very professional, high scale. I think so. High scale is the right word. High volume probably. Does this a lot. So I appreciate craftsmanship where it's done really well. Could be an official thing as well. Citroen could be selling these officially as people carriers, and they are just made by that company for them. I don't know how this works. I don't understand things at such large scales, you know. I'm pretty much a small scale kind of thinker. I make, I do, I create, everything is I. There's no huge involvement of many people. Oh, okay. So this used to be connected to the ceiling. Ceiling? Yes, I guess ceiling is the word for it. You could be driving and you could turn on the conditioning and turn it off and turn it up and turn it down. So this is also going to be thrown out. No longer needed. Oh. And that's all the controls for it. Okay. That's the only cables that were coming back were these signal cables. I just found out. So this box is official. Never mind. I thought someone had put it in. But let me show you the box again. If I could. There we go. The only thing in the box that's not official is this connector here. And this brown wire. Brown signal wire, some sorts. And this connector here. These are not official. This is just a big power connector. This is... I don't get this at all, honestly. Like, the only cable that was connected here is one brown cable, right? That was connected into this. What's the whole point of the harness then? There's only one cable connected to it. Like, I am baffled beyond. I'd love to understand this. I love this stuff. This is the stuff that fascinates me. Wiring, like, I want to know how this car works. So in case it breaks, I want to know how to fix it. Ow. Because I very well know that I will not be able to afford a mechanic. So I will have to fix this myself if it breaks. When it breaks, most likely. So I want to know what each wire does. I want to know what the common problems are. I already found one common problem. I mean, not common. It was with this van. It's that there was water down here in the box with electronics. It's like a big no-no. So I thought I'm very smart and I already knew that and I would fix that. But then I saw this massive wiring harness, which seemingly leads to nowhere. Only has one cable coming to it and only one brown wire connecting to it. Then what's the whole point of this? This just comes in, connects to a bunch of relays and goes back to nowhere, I guess. Oh, these videos are stacking up in time. I have no clue how I'm going to edit them down. I just need to stop talking. Maybe. I don't know. This is all too interesting for me, so I can't stop talking. That's it. That's the whole harness. So, question stands. What is the point of this box? Maybe someone smarter than me could help. Maybe I'll figure out by the time I upload this video, because knowing me could be... I have no clue when. I'm so bad at actually doing things that I want to do. Back to removing cables. What time is it? It is 3 o'clock. I've probably recorded a few hours of footage already. And that's a few hours of footage too much that I will just cut out and remove. Because so much footage, no one wants to watch that much of yapping, as they call it. Look at this. Wait, you need to see this. Look at this spaghetti monster I've extracted from the van. Yay. There's a good bit of wire there. Now, if we look at the back here, it should be nothing but beautiful, official wiring. Yep, it's clipped in most places. Some places the clips have gone, but here we go, we clip it back in. Look, clipped in, except here where... Another thing about the previous owner, I'm not sure if it's the van builder or the previous owner who's done this, but I'm certain it's not the van builders because they've done a really nice job. Look at this. You see this cutout? Now, I don't know why someone would do such a thing. Why would they leave this massive, gnarly cutout, right? But then I realized, on the roof, they have this ball rack, light rack, whatever you want to call it. It's a pipe with lights in it. The thing I was talking about that blinded all the other drivers. Now, what he couldn't do is he couldn't screw in the bolts. So what he had to do is, let me show you, he had to cut the frame of the van, right here. So you can see up there, there's a little bolt up in there. So he could screw in this, in my opinion, hideous, let's ignore the fact that it was blinding other drivers, hideous rack. So this numpty couldn't find the right tool, extension. I mean, to prove my point, I will unscrew it in another video because I don't want to leave a hole up there right now, without using the cut hole he made. Because it's just a jackass job. That's all he is. Like, besides the fact that he was hiding a lot of things from me, like the rust in the van, the fact that the air conditioning doesn't work, all the other tiny issues with the van he was hiding from me, right? Let's ignore those. The fact that he does something like this is just a numpty move. He's ruining a perfectly fine van. He's cutting into metal just so he can attach his little blinding bar. Let's call it that. A blinding bar. That's what it is. A bar that blinds other drivers. He couldn't even wire the brake lights correctly. If he did it correctly, it wouldn't blind him 24/7. It would just blind him when he's braking, which would be okay, but it's just... I'm angry, irrationally angry, so I'm ranting. Okay, sorry. We'll get back to screwing and drilling rivets. Almost drilled my van. Again. It's like the 4th time I've done this. There we go. This is the valve viewer I was talking about earlier. Input here, 2 outputs here. Opens, closes. I assume it's something to do with building in pressure in the condenser? I think so. I don't know. It's cool. It's heavy. Maybe me smacking with a hammer on the rivets damaged something, but it's a heavy piece of equipment. So probably a really good solenoid in here. So all these parts could be reused, but I don't know what for yet. One day, maybe. These and all the other things done to the van is probably why it was so cheap. It was cheap, I won't lie. It was the cheapest I could get, ish. That didn't look horrible, because you could get cheap vans from companies. The people who drive those vans do not care for them. They're all ruined, they're all rusty, broken, squeaky. They're not great because people don't care about them. You know, it's a work van, they just drive it. All the seals are missing, everything's missing. People selling them are kind of sketchy as well, because they're like, oh, it's great, it all works. And then you start driving it and there's no second gear. So you're like, where's the second gear gone? I don't know. So yeah, this was the best and the cheapest I could get at the time. And it had 2 seats already. I didn't want the 3 seats in the front. I wanted 2 separate seats so I can install swivel seats at some point. And also I could come from the front to the back. It had little things that I wanted. I had all the windows. I didn't want to cut windows, so I bought one of the windows. Yeah, I mean, it's the best I could afford. So maybe that's why it was so cheap, because the previous owner was a bit of an umpty, and he did a lot of handy jobs. But yeah, right now we are at the stage where I don't want to do things. ADHD is kicking in hard, meds are wearing off, I'm talking a lot, probably because of the meds actually, but the meds are wearing off, I can feel them. Soon I'll go into lazy mode and I won't want to do anything, so before that happens I want to start cleaning the van. So that's a big task I want to start so I can finish later. Also, the battery is going to die, so I will pause it and I'll try to put a time lapse on to save a bit of battery. Hopefully that will work. If not, then the recording will end, obviously. Okay, I won't keep yapping. I won't get on to doing, and then I'll record as I'm doing. So, in the last video, the camera died. I was cleaning, nothing really happened. I cleaned the van. Well, actually, I lie. I got some help to clean the van the next day, or the day after, a while later. Anyway, it's been 2 weeks since the last clip. But yeah, the van is clean. We've cleaned up everything that has a surface that will need to be sticky for the extruded styrofoam. Extruded polystyrene, styrofoam. It's nice. One thing I wanted to show you guys is a cool feature that I noticed when cleaning. Is these panels here have like dirt, so it looks like I didn't clean them, but what actually is here is some sort of protective oil. As you can see, I can push it and it's an oily substance. So someone, the previous owner or people before him, have introduced some sort of rust protection here, which is nice. Keeps the door from rusting. I'll be doing that later as well with the van. I'll be doing the underside and I'll be talking about it and how it works and why it's good, but I mean, it stops things from rusting. Because this panel has some holes right here. Ooh, let me try this again. So this panel has some holes right here. These are the holes for the lights that illuminate the number plate. So these lights, if something happens, you know, water can get in and moisture and stuff. So yeah, it's good. It's good that someone actually cared about the van enough to do rust protection. Sadly, whoever did care, the next person didn't care enough to not put these holes there, but that's besides the point. Yeah, that's what I was doing last time when I left you guys, when the battery died, realistically. Now, today's plan is a big one. I am thinking about removing the air conditioning unit from the top. Here, it is bolted. Right here you can see there are bolts that hold in the whole unit. Bolts, rivets, they're not actually bolts, my bad. And you can see the cable connection right here. This is where the cable was, I cut it last time. And this is where the actual tubes went. So I'm thinking it's not going to leave a big hole. That's why I'm doing it first, because I also want to remove the old ventilator. But that will leave a big hole and I don't know how to patch it up right now. So this will be easier to patch up. And yeah, it's a big piece of weight. It'll help me, 1, reduce the weight, 2, it doesn't work, just doesn't matter. And 3, I need to fit a bunch of solar panels, so that will take space and I can't just leave it. So yeah, that will be fun, hopefully. I'll show you up the roof in a bit, how it looks. Another thing I did want to remove is this fan. This fan is old, rusty, it doesn't really work too well, it's made from metal and it leaks, so it has to go. I want to remove it, but it will leave a big hole, and honestly I don't know how to patch it up right now. So maybe you guys will be able to tell me in the comments if someone knows. Because I am thinking that I need to upload this video because destruction is coming to an end. So I might not even get to removing that until the next video. Because yeah, I've been editing this and it's been 2 hours, so I need to cut an end because at this rate it's going to become a Lord of the Rings movie, the uncut version. So yeah, I'll probably show you around, I'll show you the plan, but then all the procedures and removings will be next video. That sounds like an idea that, yeah, should be decent. So another thing I did, I got the emergency exit. This is an emergency exit. I got it to work. Well, not as an exit, but as the air vent. So you can open it, push it open on both sides, and then you can see the outside. So from here, I'll show you the air conditioning unit that I'll be removing. Maybe you'll see, I'll see. So that's the air conditioning unit. It's a big block of metal. That needs to come out. So yeah, in the next video, I'll be doing that. And maybe even the fan at that point, because, I don't know, maybe someone will tell me how to cover up the hole nicely. I'm thinking acrylic sheet and some silicone for now. or forever. I mean, nothing's more permanent than a temporary solution that works, right? So I'll think of something, because realistically I don't want this hole here. I don't need it. The ventilation system I have is going to be different. It's going to be quite sleek. Since I don't have a lot of space on the roof, it'll be all taken by panels. My ventilation system will have to be very small, but I have some plans on how to make it effective. It'll be closer to a home ventilation system than a van ventilation system, which is just an open fan. Sorry. I will have ducting. I will have blower fans. So hopefully that will provide enough airflow to evacuate the steam from the shower and the steam from cooking and the water vapor from just existing. So yeah, that will come later down the line. Yeah, enough talking. This has been a very long video. I do thank you for watching, if you have watched this far. Let me know if there's anything I can fix. Maybe saying less ums and but-ums, as I do. Or, I don't know, less yapping, more time lapses, less time lapses. Anything is helpful at this point, because I have no clue what to make. I'm trying to make the videos less engagement for me and more just natural. I don't want to encourage ADHD since it affects me so bad. And I feel like the only reason I only got diagnosed now, when I'm almost 30, is because before it didn't affect me as bad, because yeah, there were some, you know, things that I would sink my time in with ADHD, like gaming and stuff, but I would still get things done in life. But now it just feels like nothing gets done. And that's obviously because of all the engagement, farming and attention span. Like, everyone's trying to get your attention and time. I'm trying to not promote that system, not to encourage it. I'm doing things slowly on purpose. It's to encourage not that instant dopamine hit, gratification kind of mindset that makes ADHD worse. So hopefully this helps, if anyone even sees this. So yeah, that's why the videos are a bit slower and they're not action, 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 close up, different angle, action, close up, different angle. Like, I feel like that just hits your brain in so many ways that it's like drugs, realistically. It gets you addicted, and I felt it myself where you can't get anything done, you know. You're trying to get something done, but then bam, notification, someone uploaded, bam, short, bunch of action, dopamine, next short, and then by that time you've forgotten what you're doing and you're like 3 hours down because of some notification because someone uploaded this short. I don't know. It's horrible, and I don't want to encourage that. It's probably gonna make the viewer retention tank, but does it matter realistically? Honestly, this stuff is just to document what I'm doing so I remember later in life, because my memory is not great. So seeing this maybe will bring some memories back to how things were before. So yeah, even this whole video, right, while editing it, I saw footage of 6 months ago that I've completely forgotten how the van looked inside, right? This is how I remember the van now. 6 months ago, it was a different van, and like, I already forgotten that. So it's nice to see something and remember. Yeah. So I'll be probably uploading this video now, and then the next stuff, hopefully someone in the comments will guide me the right way on how they prefer the edits to be. Anyways, enough talking. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.